What's going on, everyone? So I did a video diving into Steph Curry's new one-year extension where he got $62.6 million from the Golden State Warriors. And one of the things that I talked about, because a lot of people are like, what does this mean for him going to the Lakers? Does this mean that it is done? He's never going to Lakers? No, on the contrary, it actually makes it a little more likely that he's going to the Lakers, right? Because what this does is it secures the bag for him. Right? So that way, if he does start to decline or he does, say, get, knock on wood, a significant injury or anything like that, he's locked up, he's good, he's got the bag, right? But also, it gets the extension out of the way now, so that way he can be traded, not necessarily this season. I don't think if Steph goes to the Lakers, it's this season. Not saying that it won't happen. You never know. Nothing's really 0%. But there's so many hurdles that need to be jumped because both teams are a first April team. The Lakers would have to essentially gut their entire team. I mean, literally down to the studs just to go and get Steph Curry. So I don't think it happens this season. So again, Steph signing the extension now just means it's more likely to be traded next offseason. And now he's got 2 years on his deal as opposed to one, to where, teams might be more incentivized, or a team like the Lakers might be more incentivized. Also, it locks in and secures that Steph lines up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis's contracts, right? Because again, Steph now has 3 years left after this extension. Anthony Davis, 3. Right? LeBron can get to 3 because he can opt out, sign a new 1+1 after this season. So Steph Curry now lines up perfectly with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in their contract. If you're going to put those 3 together, you'd want their contracts to line up. So that way, when LeBron and Steph retire, guess what? Anthony Davis can either opt back in or, sign a new extension or contract, or he could go for other pastures because he's like, I'm all that's left. And the Lakers can hit the reset button, right? So even their contracts line up perfectly. But more than anything, the Lakers have the flexibility next season to essentially clear their books. Not entirely, but enough to where they can go get Steph, get under the first apron, and now have enough to round out their team. Because you're going to have guys like D'Angelo Russell, who walks and expires. You're going to have guys like Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood that are going to walk and expire. I know that they're on vet minimum contracts, but it's still $9 million that's on the books that's going to walk out, right? You also have LeBron James who could opt out, let you do whatever you need to do to go get Steph. So you're under a first apron team. You might even have some cap space, and then LeBron can sign whatever's left, right? Now, remember, LeBron was willing to do that this offseason for Valanciunas, DeMar DeRozan, and Klay Thompson. You don't think LeBron would do that for Steph Curry? Of course. LeBron would probably take $10 million to go get Steph Curry. And he wouldn't be on that $62.6 million extension yet. Or that money. He'd still have that extension, but it wouldn't, the Lakers wouldn't have to send out $62.6 million, right? They'd have to send out I think it's $55 million, something like that, right? Top of my head. But so again, it makes it even more likely that next offseason, the Lakers are able to go and trade for Steph. You also would have Rui Hachimura, who would be on an expiring contract, Gabe Vincent, right? So those players and pieces would be a lot more enticing for the Warriors because they would look at it as okay, we can actually get an exception, not only get that, but we could take on some players, but we're not taking on a bunch of salary compared to these other teams, right? We're not taking on, multiple guys that have 3 years on their contract. No, we're taking on Rui, who's expired, taking on Gabe Vincent, taking on these guys who are expiring. So that way the Warriors just kind of got to get through that season, and then boom, all is done, all is good, right? The Lakers would also have more draft picks available next offseason to go and trade for the Warriors, right? So the Warriors would be able to get even more. There is a lot of talk very early on of the Lakers making trades and pushing hard for deals. And then since then, it's just gone completely flatline. And there has been no rumors, there's been no talk, there's been nothing really. A lot of people think that the Lakers aren't going to do anything this offseason. Is it because they know Steph Curry is coming? Now, before you go, no way, all that stuff, there were reports, multiple reports, by the way, that said the Lakers agreed to trading for Jeremy Grant for 2 firsts, and Rob Pelinka backed out. And he backed out right when LeBron James and Steph Curry got together and started getting cozy. You started seeing all the pictures and all the videos and all that stuff. You don't think Rob Pelinka called LeBron James, said, hey, Bron, we're about to trade for Jeremy Grant. What do you think? And if LeBron is working on Steph, you don't think LeBron went, no, I need you to wait. I'm working on Steph. Steph might be coming, right? And they said, sorry, we can't do the Jeremy Grant deal no more, right? That deal goes down. All of a sudden, Lakers back out. They're not in any more trade conversations. They're not talking to anybody anymore. It's like, what is going on? I mean, you got Walker Kessler, who makes a world of sense, just right there, ready for the taking. The Lakers haven't done anything, right? Like, also, the Lakers have a history of this. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, right? Dwight Howard, right? Like, you have, the Lakers love to star hunt, star chase, right? That's what they do. And they are willing to miss out on all these other things in order to wait to see if that star actually comes. Steph Curry just signed the extension now. Why do you sign it now? Why wouldn't he sign it next offseason when usually players do those types of things? Now, you could argue maybe Steph is just worried about an injury this season, but even Steph Curry could have a season-ending injury, knock on wood, and he still will get the extension next offseason, right? Like, the Warriors aren't going to not pay Steph Curry. Like, that would, I mean, they would sign him to the extension and trade him before they didn't do that, right? Like, there's no way he doesn't get that money from the Warriors. Now, there is a real possibility he doesn't get that money from another team, right? If he's traded to Lakers and knock on wood, there's some significant injury or something like that, then yes, he's probably not getting that bag. So if you were ever going to do the extension and then get traded, it would be right now. It would be this season. So that way you get the extension, you lock it in, boom, now you have no worries, your hands are clean, right? Hey, Bron, because you can't have the tampering stuff, right? But players can talk. Hey, Bron, signing this extension. Unless we win a championship next year, I'm out. Coming to you guys. Be ready, be patient. And what do you think LeBron's going to do? Rob, don't do anything this year. Leave everything intact. Yeah, but we might not win. I don't care. If we don't win the championship, we don't even make the playoffs. I don't care. Steph Curry's coming. Me, Steph, and Anthony Davis will win multiple championships, right? Be patient. I mean, it makes sense. Again, it adds up because you start looking at the pieces lining in place. All these pieces are starting to line up. Now, again, that doesn't mean the Lakers can't make a small trade. Like, could they still go get Walker Kessler? Yes, go get Walker Kessler. Right? There are still little things, but if they start taking on a bunch of salary, right, and they start taking, they bring in Jeremy Grant and they go get, a Cam Johnson, and they get these guys that have 3-4 years on their deal, they're probably not getting Steph Curry. It just, because again, why would the Warriors want, a bunch of salary that they got to pay out for the next 4 years, right? But if the Lakers stand pat, again, D'Lo falls off the books, bunch of vet minimums fall off the books, right? You got LeBron James, who can go and clear out his salary, right? Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura on an expiring, Gabe Vincent, right, on an expiring that year, right? Max Christie if you needed to, whatever, right? So you're talking 17, 11, so it's 28 plus Austin Reeves. That gives you a $40 million there. But if you can clear off like $15 million in cap space, right? There you go. Now you're absorbing it. You're under the first apron. Boom, you got that. You still keep Max Christie. You still keep Jared Vanderbilt. That could be your starting five. Steph Curry, Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. After that, who cares what the rest of your roster is? If that team's healthy, you're winning a championship, right? So again, like, the Lakers have a clear path to get to Steph. Steph just opted into a contract to make sure his contract lines up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Like, again, start putting the puzzle pieces together. I'm not saying it's a lock. I'm not saying, go bet the house on it. No, nothing like that. No. You never know in sports. But I'm saying, you start looking at how things in hindsight have kind of unfolded, it looks like there's a clear pattern here that eventually leads you to Steph. So, again, is it possible that the Lakers still trade for Steph Curry? Absolutely. I think it's more likely now than ever. I think there were some real question marks, some real hurdles, where now you're kind of, okay, you're good. Because also, you got to think, if the Lakers go and trade for Steph, you got Steph for a year, right? There's the concern, like, okay, does he retire? Right? What if it doesn't work out and he's not happy here and he leaves and we just traded our entire team to do that? Or what happens if there's an injury or whatever, right? You start questioning, okay, is Steph really worth trading for? Well, now he's got that other year. So now it's like, okay, well, now we don't have to worry about him retiring. We don't have to worry about him, leaving us. If injuries happen, knock on wood, injuries happen, right? You can't do anything about that. So now it even incentivizes the Lakers even more. Not just that, the Warriors and the Lakers have talked already. Do you think maybe it's possible the Lakers were like, hey, sign Steph to that extension now? Pre-new TV deal, all that stuff. Just saying. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think, yes, this makes it more likely that Steph is a Laker? Do you think that that's why the Lakers are being patient and not making a trade to go and get Steph? Do you think that this is something that really kind of catapults things? Do you find it interesting, at least? Again, kind of look at all the puzzle pieces, kind of look at it in hindsight. Starting to add up, starting to get a little fishy here. But anyway, as always, this is discussion, so I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.